What's up, y'all? In this video, I'm going to be going over these 5 different automations that I've just created to streamline your workflows and work with SDRs easily. You can head over to afanto.com/automations. All of these are going to be available completely for free, and the instructions associated with each of those are going to be there as well. So let's get started with what exactly we're doing. So we have this Google Sheets doc, which stores all of our SDRs. You can do this in Airtable, you can do this in your HCM software, whatever you want. But what we want is essentially each of our SDRs that are inside our Smartlead account. So we're going to have all of them as added as team members here. And then we're going to essentially be able to start assigning leads to them. And so that's the next step over here. But first things first, we're going to want all of the SDRs. And there's 3 automations to help us do that. The first one is retroactively grabbing all of the SDRs. So this one is going to export all of the SDRs, add them into the Google Sheets doc. And then this one and this one are going to help us moving forward. So moving forward in our onboarding process, we can easily add SDRs that we've just onboarded to this Google Sheets doc. We can also deactivate them as whenever we want. And so what this is going to look like in practice is what you're seeing over here. So status invited, this is someone that we've just added as an SDR using that automation, and then deactivated is someone that we've just deactivated with this process. Cool. So let's get started with the very first automation. I'll show you how to set it up and how it works in practice. So what this is going to do is essentially export all of the engaged leads. So all of the positive replies that we've gotten from Smartlead, it's going to export them and put them in a Google Sheets doc like this one. And so this is what it's going to look like. We're going to get the lead IDs, all of this stuff. And the really cool thing about this specific automation is that it's designed to use as little operations as possible. And what allows us to do this is this Google Sheets module over here, which bulk adds. And so let's say, for example, you have a campaign with 100,000 records and 10,000 of those are positives, which is a really great ratio. But let's say you've got 10,000 positives. You don't want to use 10,000 operations just to get that many leads in Sheets, right? And so what this is going to do is essentially take all of those 10,000 leads, convert them to an array, and then simply add them with one single operation. And so that's how this automation is built. And so once we have all of the leads here, we're then going to have the ability to assign the leads to an SDR. And so we've got the SDRs here, and we've got their SDR IDs, and then as you can see, Smartlead assign. And so let's actually just check this off, and then let me show you some of the underlying formulas in these Sheets doc. And so let's say we switch this from SDR1 to SDR2. Boom. As you can see with the ID, it's about to change. Boom, it's changed, right? And then we Control Z, we go back, it's changed again. And so this is the underlying formula. And what this is doing is essentially looking at the email that we have here and then grabbing the ID associated to the email from the Smartlead users. And so the very first thing you want to do is you want to export, you want to use the automation here, export all users. So once you've exported all of the users and added them to Google Sheets, and by the way, this is where this automation is. It's export all existing Smartlead users to Google Sheets. So once you've done this, right, download the blueprint, you've done this, then you can then move on to the next step, which is this automation over here, which retroactively adds the positive replies to Smartlead, right? And by the way, just so you're aware, because I'm going to be adding tons and tons of new automations to this page, you can always just search. So if I were to do retroactively, right? As you can see, retroactively assign SDRs to Smartlead contacts. And so if you're not able to see it on page 1 here, that's how you're going to be able to find it in the future. And so boom, we've got all of these. So we're going to assign all of these leads to SDRs manually. The reason we're doing it manually and not automatically is because everyone is going to have a different use case, and some people may want to give more leads to one specific SDR who might be full-time while another one might be part-time, right? And so this is something you're only going to do once, so do it manually. Once you've added that, and really all it is just mapping the email to the lead, right? Once you've done that, all of the IDs are going to change, and then we can move on to the second one, which is going to be retroactively assign leads to SDRs. And so it's basically going to search that Sheets document. So when we go ahead and run this module only, it's going to look at that Sheets document and grab all of the leads that don't have it checked off that they're sent, right? And so as you can see, we've got 2 bundles over here. If I were to assign one of these, say it's done, when we run it again, when we run this one again, it's only going to pop up with 1, right? It's got 1 only. And so where it's checking it off is this one. So mark leads as assigned, it's just going to have something over here that says true, all the way at the bottom over here. And so this is how you're going to know which leads to grab, right? Once you've grabbed all of those leads, we're going to use this module over here to assign the users to the specific leads. And so how this comes into play is when we go into the master inbox, each of your SDRs are logged in, right? So this is an SDR logged in, right? They can easily navigate over to the assigned me section. So let's go to snoozed over here. And then let's go to assigned me. As you can see, we've only got 1 lead, right? And so what this automation is going to do is it's going to essentially assign a lead to the specific person. So let's go ahead and assign this to Noel personal. Boom. And then let's go ahead and go to the snoozed. And then we go back to assign me. Now we've got the lead, right? And so what this allows the SDRs to do is easily manage their inbox. And then from their end, they can easily add additional filters to the assigned contacts and easily work them. Because if you don't do it like this, you're going to have a huge master inbox across all of your leads. And I know some big companies that work with SDRs and they have like so many positive replies coming through. It's insane, right? And so you need to have a way to batch those replies in a way like this, right? So let's go ahead and unassign that lead. And when we go back to snoozed and then we come back to assign me, as you can see, it goes away. It just makes it so much easier for your SDRs to manage the inbox. And so this is what this automation is going to do. It's essentially going to assign the lead to the SDR. So boom, that is that. And then the last ones are add users to Smartlead and deactivate users in Smartlead. These ones I would recommend using them within your onboarding and offboarding automations. So when you onboard an SDR or a regular employee, you're probably putting them through an onboarding process, right? And that onboarding process and its SOPs are what allow you to know when to add someone to Smartlead, right? Initially, right? And so that part, if you have it automated, just go ahead and add these ones in there. And again, what this is going to allow you to do is update this Google Sheets doc with all of the users and all of the information over here. So if we were to add someone using this automation, it would already automatically fill out this stuff for us. Otherwise, if you're not going to do that, just use the export existing Smartlead users. As you can see, this has an add function and it has an update function. And I do mention at the bottom here when you're setting a schedule, this automation doesn't need to run again unless new users are added to Smartlead. And so if you don't set up these 2 over here, just use this one. And then the moment that you onboard a new person, just do the on-demand thing where you just run it again and then it updates all of the users with the stuff. So it's going to update them whether they're active, inactive, all of that stuff. And so the next part of this is where we're now going to start to be able to automatically assign net new stuff to SDRs. And so go to my YouTube channel. I'm going to have a video about that stuff. But for now, this is where we ended. Go to afonto.com/automations. Download these automations completely for free forever. It's 2,000 hours spent. I actually just spent like 10 hours. I don't know how long I've been here, but I've been building these and you can get them completely for free. Cheers.